In 1963, Clarence Earl Gideon was arrested in Panama City, Florida, for breaking into a pool room and stealing a pint of wine and some change from a cigarette machine. At his trial, Gideon asked the court to appoint a lawyer, but under Florida law, a lawyer was only provided in capital offense. His request was denied. Gideon lost his case and was sentenced to 5 years. In prison, he wrote a letter to the U.S. Supreme Court arguing that his Sixth Amendment right to a fair trial had been violated.
The United States Supreme Court said I'm entitled to be represented by counsel.
Under Florida law, you are not entitled to an appointed attorney unless your case is a capital offense. Gideon was forced to defend himself because he didn't have the money to hire a lawyer, and the jury quickly found him guilty and was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
The question is very simple. I request this court to be appointed by a lawyer and grant me a new trial. The United States Supreme Court says I am entitled to be represented by counsel.
Now hear the argument in Clarence Earl Gideon versus Wainwright. Mr. Fortis, you may proceed.
The question before us is simple but fundamental. Can a man receive a fair trial without a lawyer? Clarence Gideon was forced to stand alone in a courtroom without any advice from a lawyer while the state prosecuted him with full resources. This is not justice, it's a denial of the Sixth Amendment.
Mr. Fortis, are you asking us to overrule Bett versus Brady?
Yes, Your Honor. Bett versus Brady is outdated and unjust. It allows the states to decide when someone needs a lawyer or not, which is unconstitutional. The Constitution says the accused shall enjoy the right to counsel. Fair trial to everyone should depend on what someone is charged with.
The state of Florida believes in fairness, but also in federalism. Bett versus Brady struck a balance. It let the states decide when counsel is needed depending on each case.
If the Constitution guarantees a right, it must be upheld universally, not occasionally. The court should be a place of justice, not advantage, and no matter how poor, should face the power of the state alone.
Lawyers to prosecute are everywhere deemed essential to protect the public's interest in an orderly society. The government hires lawyers to prosecute, and defendants who have money hire. Lawyers to defend are the strongest indication of the video spread belief that lawyers to criminal courts are necessities and not luxuries. Safeguards is assigned to assure fair trial before impartial tribunals in which every defendant stands equal before the law.